Yo, so I came across this article in the Daily Mail and it was about Emma Watson. So I was like, what beef does she have again? But it seems like she's trying to mend a beef she had with J.K. Rowling. The gilded existence that J.K. Rowling says makes Emma Watson ignorant. I had to read this through and I couldn't believe what I was reading because I'll give you my assumptions later on. Emma Watson's gilded existence as a wealthy, ignorant movie star was brutally laid bare by J.K. Rowling during a scathing critique of the Harry Potter actress. The 35-year-old raked in an estimated 42 million from her role as Hermione Granger. Those are estimates. They're not really real money. It's probably less than that. It's never more. In the live adaptations of Mrs. Rowling's blockbuster fantasy series, by the age of 14, she was already a multi-millionaire, having starred in just three of the first movies alongside co-star Daniel Radcliffe and Rupert, which is thought to have netted around 4 million. Wow. Imagine having that much money that young. Now studying for a master's degree at the University of Oxford, she lives a lavish lifestyle that her fellow academics could only dream of. Relaxing in the opulent 9-bedroom mansion. Who needs a 9-bedroom mansion? And again, who knows, man? Who knows? In the city of a lovely enclave of Jericho. Believed to be a skiing fan, Miss Watson also had a holiday home near the Maribeth ski resort in French Alps, and was last month seen enjoying a stroll in Saint-Tropez, a playground for the rich and famous, before jetting off to Venice earlier this month. The actress even appeared to blame her recent driving ban for speeding on her Hollywood lifestyle, and the fact she was chauffeured around as a teenager. And despite a vast fortune estimated to be worth 63 million, it's unlikely Miss Watson was ever short of money. As a young child, her loyal parents paid for her to attend the prestigious 33,000 a year Dragon School. Dragon School. This come out straight out of Harry Potter, man. Dragon. What school you go to? Dragon. Oh man, it's crazy. Who alumni include comedian Jack Whitehall, tennis ace Tim Henman, politician Rory Stewart, and the actor Hugh Laurie. Boy, those are a bunch of posh assholes. Those are posh assholes right there, man. You can't get no posher than that. The star has also ventured into her own business, founding a luxury grape-based gin, Renesses, with her young brother Alex, with some of the grapes coming from her father's French vineyard. Bloody hell. This is crazy. Miss Watson has also previously dated Brandon Green, the son of billionaire retail tycoon Sir Philip Green, and has used her celebrity status to preach about gender equality, delivering speeches as the UN's Women Goodwill Ambassador. But in an unprecedented attack on Mrs. Watson, author Miss Rowling enraged she was ignorant and how ignorant she is and had so little experience in real life. I wasn't a multi-millionaire at 14, says J.K. Rowling. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made you famous. Whoa. Damn. So pretty much Emma Watson born with a silver spoon in her mouth, really. She never really knew poverty as a young person. And she tried to speak like she's one of us people, you know. Damn. Those were better times, right? I therefore understand from my own life experience what the fashion of a woman's rights in which Emma has enthusiastically participated means to women and girls around the without her privileges. I don't know that participated means to. I don't know who wrote this. It sounds like garbage. In by far her most personal criticism yet, Miss Rowling suggests that Paris-born actress has been blinded by wealth and privileges, and had never used a public changing room in a local swimming pool. Oh, this is hilarious, man. This is crazy. Like other people who've never experienced adult life, uncushioned by wealth and fame, Emma has so little experience of real life. She's ignorant of how ignorant she is. I mean, this is making me laugh. This is hilarious. Emma has so little experience of real life. Mrs. Ryan wrote during her lengthy takedown of the actress, she's never had a homeless shelter. She's never gone into a place on her mixed sex public hospital ward. I'd be astounded if she's been in a high street changing room since childhood. her public her public bathroom is single occupancy and comes with a security man standing guard outside the toilet. Has she had a trip off a newly mixed sex changing room? A council room swimming pool? The 6-year-old fantasy novelist brutally reboot comes amid a bitter feud with Miss Watson over their differing views on trans rights, with the Harry Potter creator having now become one of the most prominent gender critical voices. Raging since 2020, the row has since seen Emma Watson going against the views of women who helped make her rich and famous. However, last week Miss Watson appeared to offer an olive branch of sorts, but insists she still treasures the author she was so close to growing up. Look, I'm gonna be honest. Like, it seems like this person was literally born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Like, no matter what would have happened, she would have had some money, some way, somehow. It's just the way her life turned out. Also, the Harry Potter, all that this was just icing on the cake for her. She was already gonna be rich. If you attend a school the Dragon School, man, everybody from, not everybody, but majority of people, it has turned out some pretty famous people. And you don't spend your money, send your children to such a expensive school for them to become bums. Even if she did become a bum, the parents were already stabilized in their life, or their lawyers, so they already were set up to a point where they didn't really need for her to become super famous. As for her career, her career has been a bit slow. I mean, she hasn't really, her acting's okay. It's not bad, but it's not great. She hasn't really been in anything really big. I mean, I've never seen her in any big movies recently. It seems like she's kind of going through a slow, but I think she's studying probably. But some of the movies she's had, I remember one time there was a movie she was in, and nobody heard of it. I was like, wait a minute, this is a girl from Harry Potter. It was this movie, but it got no publicity whatsoever. And I checked it out, and it just didn't do well. It wasn't a rubbish movie, but it had some big names in it, but it just didn't do well. I didn't even know it existed. A lot of people in the newspaper said she was in this movie that no one knew existed. It's like when you see, you start to make enemies in Hollywood. I'm not too sure that's the case, but when you start taking sides, like some of these trans people, I have nothing against trans people, but there are a lot of these men that like to cosplay as trans, and I think they're making the trans community a bit they're making it look bad. Like, you get like men who are in men's prison, they suddenly start to want to be women. I don't know, and then they start to move into women's prisons and stuff like that. It's really crazy. I call them cosplayers, because they never felt like this before until they got themselves into some sort of trouble, and then they were like, "Yeah, I'm trans. I identify as a woman." And it's weird how, man, I remember back in the early 2000s, if you were to start saying this type of stuff, they would have laughed you out the room. They'd be like, you want to identify as a woman? But we live in such a woke society these days that, people can get away with it, and we accept it, especially with some people who call themselves non-binary. That just can't make any sense. You have to be male or female. They don't want to be either of them. Either, either, I don't know which one it is. But yeah, it's crazy that we live in such a strange world. And the olive branch is a bit nuts as well. All of a sudden, she's like, and that olive branch to this lady. Like, come on, this is after she said this. Like, she pops up here.
We all know she's a witch.
I'm here for all of the witches.
See, that's kind of crazy, Just then, that's just a diss right there. And, how you gonna insult someone like that live on TV? But this is at the height of the whole beef. And they thought they had some sort of momentum going, so they were doing what they want to do. Now that they see their careers are slowing down, she will never run out of money. This ain't a money thing. This is about career. And I think this whole new Harry Potter HBO show, if it's done right, it might eclipse. I mean, I don't say it can eclipse the original movie. Sometimes you have something where you can't beat the original. The original was really good, but now they got the budget for it, and hopefully they have some clause in it where they can't trash talk J.K. Rowling. But for me, if there was someone who gave me a career and gave me millions who something they did, the most I would do is stay silent. I wouldn't sit down there and trash talk them. I would just say, like that Tom Felton guy. You don't hear him trash talking people. He looks like he just keeps his views to himself. But the rest of them, they seem to want to trash talk, and they feel like they're too big head. They're too big. In Hollywood now these days. And it's best. I would just keep my ass quiet and not say anything, rather than be someone who's going against someone else's views. Cause I'm one of those people that's really grateful for someone giving me a chance, and I always remember someone who gave me a chance and bettered my life. Whether they're alive or dead, my memory of them needs to be positive. So, yeah, this is a lesson learnt that, when you think you're too big for someone and you think these people never, you never fall, you always fall. And her standing in Hollywood, she's looking stupid now. Everyone's laughing at her, like, because what she had done, she had put across like she was like a normal person. Because I thought that she was just an average girl, got the role of Harry Potter, and she made millions from that. I didn't know that she was privileged from the start. So, regardless of her getting the role of Harry Potter, no, she wasn't Harry Potter, but Hermione Granger. Yeah, regardless of that, she would have still been privileged. So when she's talking like she's an average person, and she had an average upbringing, like she was in some sort of council estate somewhere, she was never ever gonna be that person. She's not a normal person. She's always been privileged. That's what J.K. Rowling threw in her face. Like, you are throwing words at me when I'm sticking up for women. You've never ever felt to be underprivileged. You always had things at your disposal. You always been privileged. From the day you was born to when you was 14 and got that role in Harry Potter, you've always been privileged. And that's what she's telling us. Now she's putting it out there like, I know a lot about you. And what I know about you is that you are cosplaying as a normal person when you was a privileged person from the start. And now everyone sees what she wrote. They realize to themselves like, wait a minute. we're out here suffering, and she's talking like she is for trans people, right? You know what I mean? That's what I hate about some of these Hollywood types. Like someone like Leonardo DiCaprio, he will go on this thing like, "Oh, we need to help the environment," but then he will fly in on a private jet. It's that type of thing. That this is what they do. They woke. That's why I quote. But will she go broke? I don't think so. But she is very woke. Anyway, I'm out. On to the next video. Like, subscribe, and I'm out.